I'm here at what is the border of Ohio. Now I'll tell you a little bit of history, besides the fact that the river is full of dead fish, but I'll tell you about that later. Kia chose this place to do this launch because this is not just any place. I'm going to explain why. Here is where what we know as the hamburger was born, what everyone around the world eats called a hamburger was born here. The disco ball was also born here. That crystal one everyone dances with, it was born here too. Here flow the rivers of Burbank like this one. Behind me is a city blending the classic and the unexpected. With so many changes to this car, one thing stands out. This brand, which everyone used to criticize, just like they criticize Chinese cars now, is already selling almost 1 million cars here in the United States every year. This hybrid is made in Korea, while the gasoline version will be produced in the United States. Since this is the world's most famous whiskey spot, every time you share whiskey with someone, it's special. Like we did last night with Kia. Do they share the story of generations? It's part of what happens in this city. So, I don't know if the same thing happens to you, but I've had them with a pack. This is like having a cup of American coffee. I'm not a big fan of it, but it exists in the market and has its place. And for me, it serves its purpose because they sell thousands. Number one is the CR-V, so it has its audience. Of course, it has a big audience in this segment. How can a car avoid being boring and repetitive, unlike those with the same design for years? Let's see what Kia did to make this big change here and tell you why. It could be one of my favorites and one of your favorites too in this segment, because they've worked hard. An aggressive redesign is coming, giant screens, changes you didn't expect. They're doing all of this because they're creating an atmosphere and a vibe, so that when you breathe, you say, well, that's the car I want to choose right now. For me, the question is, did they convince me, or is this still that Americano coffee I dislike? Let's find out. Let's see it. So because I'm in this very exclusive place, bringing you stories that are just as exclusive. They're closely linked with the car, since everything, even the presentation location, is intentionally chosen to sell you the car. This is called the heart of America, where everything begins. This car keeps growing and taking sales from everyone else. So, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell, and that way you'll be up to date with everything that's going on. Because nobody talks about the dead fish in the river. Let's go step by step, and I want to take this moment to thank my friend Nick, who's in Uruguay. He gave me these boots as a gift, and though I hadn't used them, I'll start wearing them since my old ones are gone. He sent them to me as a gift. He subscribed to my channel. He's been following me for a while. We're kind of friends, we talk, and he told me he was going to send me the boots, and he did. I'm grateful for that. Let's begin. The Sportage shed its shyness. They enlarged the cougar-like nose up front, making the design more aggressive and wider. With the camera, air intakes above and below, we even have shutters so the air can flow in and out. The LED lights are arranged like steps and resemble ice crystals, which looks great. We have more here at the bottom because now this looks like something out of a concept. The grille is much higher than usual. It has some glossy black, which I would have made matte, but you know I'm not into shine or bling. At night, a lot of these lights look kind of amber and really catch your attention. Thank you. Now, this is the part that defines whether a car is all show or if what we have here is really worth it. There are 3 engines that are completely different. The first is a 2.5 liter gasoline engine with 187 horsepower. That one isn't very exciting. It's just for those who want to get from one place to another, period. They're not worried about the 0 to 60 speed. This is the hybrid model, offering more power and excitement with 232 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is 7.4 seconds, and you can measure the 0 to 60 distance here. This one feels more alive. It has power, accelerates, and shows strength. It does 40 miles per gallon, which is also super important. For me, honestly, it's the most balanced one out of this whole range, out of the 3 engines we have. The plug-in hybrid goes a bit further. 268 horsepower, 34-mile electric range, and over 400 miles total range. When it's completely full and the battery is charged. And if you have a plug at home, then you'll definitely never get stranded. If you're considering electrification, I recommend having a plug at home. It's essential. Driving this Sportage is very comfortable, sometimes even too comfortable. The suspension absorbs everything. I've driven it already and it feels great. The steering is precise but lacks any soul. If you want to take more exciting curves, choose the Mazda CX-50. The mission here is to travel relaxed, not break records. Both the hybrid and plug-in have a 6-speed automatic transmission. Here in the back, when everything folds 60-40, the space becomes flat to allow for more cargo. You'll see it in the back. That's important if you like to carry things like I do. It's important for you to know that you can do that. You can sit here and adjust or recline it as you like, whether you're a woman or anyone else. You can hang bags on both sides here, since it's designed for that. You have another spot down here to hang things and a USB port on each side of the car's backrest. With pockets, independent air vents, although you can't control the temperature. The rest is pretty good, there's space. I don't feel cramped. The sunroof reaches the second row, which is great. Cup holders are in the center. The material isn't leather, but looks similar. These rear seats are heated, with a button to set 3 heat levels. If you live somewhere with harsh winters, when you fold all the seats down back here, you get plenty of cargo space, which is important for trips to Costco or similar places. You need to have it. You fold everything down with a single lever from the back. There's a 12-volt outlet. Now this car has a spare tire here at the bottom. Not all of them have it. You have the cover, so if you're in a bad neighborhood, your stuff doesn't get stolen, and this goes down automatically. We're still here. Lauren, we're on the border of Ohio and Kentucky. We came with this Sportage, which we're driving now for the first time. And let me tell you something, I'm going to put it in sport mode now to drive it around. This is the manual, and I already mentioned it to you from the outside. And I think it's a really tough competitor for the recreational active vehicle, for the Honda CR-V, and for the Nissan Rogue, which is called the competitor. For all of those, it's a great competitor with a 10-year warranty. There's a reason he does it. Inside here, it's playing what you would call its best card. We have two 12.3-inch screens that are completely split in half. They look like a giant monitor that's attached here to the dashboard, but it fits really well. The first time you turn it on, it feels very futuristic, like a European USB. Okay, it's important that you feel it when you drive it like this, because there are a lot of Europeans working on the design of this car. Material quality has greatly improved. Okay, it's not Audi, remember that, but it also doesn't feel like a super cheap car. It feels like a good car. It drives really well, especially in the curves. Okay, they added the head-up display in the front, which it didn't have before. They also added wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to all models, which it didn't have before. That comes standard from the factory. The plastics feel sturdy. There's an interior package that's kind of red. I haven't seen that one yet, but I'd like to see how it feels, how that red interior package looks. I really like red interiors because I think a red interior gives the car a sporty feel. There's plenty of space inside, especially in the back with over 4 cubic feet. When you have the seats down, you can fit several suitcases, a folding bike, whatever you want. You know I always have those. I really like bicycles. It features a tinted double panoramic roof, front and back, offering plenty. That's where the Sportage starts. It really helps justify the price it has. Full of features. 2 connectors, and here a wireless charger. Here we have the handlebar for the gear shifts, heating and cooling for both seats, and for the steering wheel. It starts with the button. The key, of course, you have to have it with you. Cup holders here, cup holders in the doors. We have descent control, camera. I don't know if I press it, now it's going to let me see it. There's a camera here to monitor, and it's super equipped. It has a lot to offer. On this side, I have the driving modes I already mentioned, which are Eco, Sport, and Mind My Drive, which is where I set it to my liking. Where Kia stands out from everyone else is in safety. 5-star crash tests. Not every brand earns 5 stars. Okay, it features automatic brakes, adaptive cruise, blind spot monitoring, a 360 camera, and the digital key. And you can share that digital key with other people, whoever you want to share it with, for as long as you want to share it. That's something the brand has had in all its models for quite a while now. And you can do that from the app, from your phone. The car practically helps you a lot. But what can you use to improve things, of course? In a world where people drive worse and worse, the great help is really appreciated. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit. The competition is the toughest a car can face in the market. However, it's Kia's #1 selling model. The CR-V, the recreational active vehicle, Ford, the CX-50, the Volkswagen T1, the Nissan Rogue, they're all competitors. Very, very solid. Okay, the recreational active vehicle, 4 hybrid can give you a very, very, very good drive. It's the Mari, let's go Eagles. The bike seat is sturdy and very reliable, but it's extremely expensive. The Mazda is much more fun, better price and more space, and the Tiggan has a European vibe, but it has much less warranty. So it's a matter of saying, well, am I going to buy this one or am I going to buy the other one? In all the information I looked up about the competition, I was reading about the things from Mazda that I really like. But she tells me it's not necessarily better. It doesn't provide the warranty Kia offers or several other benefits. We need to listen to her too, since her experience is invaluable. A lot, okay? So, this car isn't the leader in its segment, but it has a kind of strange formula. It makes everything pretty good in it, and that's in a saturated market. That's already a big achievement for this car. It has memory for 2 passengers here on the doors. And the audio system is Harman Kardon, which we have in this model, which is the one that has everything. And about the models, I think this hybrid is the best option, which is the GX Pro, because it gives you more options. It has more space and isn't boring to drive. It's what you would call the perfect mid-size family SUV. With acceleration, that's pretty smooth. I've liked it quite a lot. No, I tell you to go try one. It's a different experience. It's a unique experience. And since we're talking so much about the warranty, tell me another one that offers you that kind of warranty, and then we'll talk in the future. You already know the rates are on the components, not on the final selling price, but Hyundai, they'll absorb the tariffs and won't pass them to you, so keep that in mind. And well, you know, go try one out, because I always say you have to test drive cars to really know what they're made of. This is important because the car has 5 models, each with its own price. Let's begin with the LX. I have it here, which starts at $30,290. Next is the S, which starts at $32,500. Next is the EX, starting at $33,590. The X-Line starts at $35,490, while the SX Prestige I'm driving today is $40,390. They always let us drive the fully loaded one, but the base model also has many features. You should know that. I really like their design, with lights running along the Kia Sportage logo on the back. The chrome accents don't shine. This is the hybrid, which is why it mentions the rear camera here. This can tow 2,000 pounds, so you can easily add the towing package. Remember something important. This is not a car for dreamers, nor is it a car for collectors. It's a car for real people, for those who work, carry kids, and live everyday life. Some people might call it a car with little style, but it's a car with little style that comes with a 10-year warranty. You won't have an empty bank account. It doesn't make me fall in love like a sports car or excite me like a muscle car, but it's a perfect travel companion. That car you have to have? We're talking to someone who lives here. Of all the fish that are dead in this river, they say it's because the water lacks oxygen. I say they're dumping chemicals in the water. It's important because I found out, and I wouldn't eat anything from this river. It's a shame because if you see the number of huge fish floating here, it can't be that the river lacks oxygen when the water is still cold. So that's what we're talking about here with one of the neighbors who came to ask what we're doing. So in the end, that's what Kia wanted with this car. Have they achieved it? They wanted to give you an SUV that won't fail. This is what I call the American coffee of cars, this car. This time, they added an extra shot of espresso to the American coffee.